Good afternoon, this is Matt Lindsay with Precision Home Group here in Anchorage. Hey, just want to come to you guys live today to talk to you about some real estate here. We're talking about representation for buyers in a purchase of a property, whether that's commercial or residential. So what we're talking about today is working specifically with the agent who's going to represent you. Now, I run across a lot of agents, a lot of clients who just really think that, hey, if I just use the listing agent on this property, it's gonna save me money, it's gonna save me time, and a bunch of other things. But what I relate that to is really saying Uncle Sam has the best interest for you in regards to the money that you give him in the form of taxes. Now, you may give that to him and they're gonna go spend it on some government subsidy on something, but you have no say in that and you have no idea if that's gonna be properly well spent. It's also the same thing as saying, hey, if I'm going through a divorce, we're gonna use one attorney to represent both of us and they're gonna kind of figure out the best thing for both parties. But at the end of the day, you're not properly represented on your side of the purchase or the divorce in that kind of situation. I hate using divorce, but it's a good example here. Or the seller isn't really represented the best either. Now, in a real estate transaction, we have commissions paid out to both sides of the deal. So when you are a buyer and you are working with an agent, it doesn't save you money. That listing agent is just making double the income on that property, on that transaction. And so it's actually better for you to bring another agent in to actually represent you, negotiate on your behalf, and actually make sure that your best interests are always kept in mind. They're gonna have a fiduciary responsibility, a financial responsibility to make sure you get the best deal possible. Whereas maybe that listing agent has an exclusive listing agreement with the seller, and since they have that relationship built up, even though they may be working with you, they may not have the best and fullest responsibility to you in that regard in the financial sector as well as the negotiating sector. They may just kind of present your ideas, your offers to the seller, but they may not be negotiating as hard for you because they want both sides to come together to be able to put this deal together because, like I said, they get paid for the deal 2 times, twice the commission they would if they were just representing one side. So at the end of the day, it really does behoove you as a buyer, as a purchaser of real property, of commercial or residential, to really get your own representation and make sure that you're represented. Now, there might be some situations where having one source, one agent could be a good thing. And that's very few and far between. And I would say when you as a buyer and you as a seller have already met, already agreed on price, and you just need someone to run a transaction, that may be a good example. Or maybe it's a huge commercial deal. And with that, there's a lot of moving parts and it's just a lot easier for one person who has already, again, worked with both the buyer and the seller coming together, agreeing on terms, is just running and transacting that and going through that process of the transaction. But as a whole, it's best that you yourself as a buyer are represented and understand that it doesn't cost any more for you to be represented by your own representative with a buyer's agent versus using that listing agent. So if you have any questions on this at all, I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to provide you some more information. That's why we're here at Precision Home Group. We really have a heart for just providing education and information and making sure deals are done well. They're done with honesty and integrity, and that you are represented as the client. So reach out to us at Matthew@precisionhomegroup.com or shoot me a text call anytime at 907-302-1011. Looking forward to hearing from you. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day.